In this episode of the Cole Memo, I'll be sharing an interaction that I had with Jim Belushi at the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference of 2024, which was hosted in my home state of Illinois. It was in Chicago. Today is October 10th, 2024, and if you're not watching this on Patreon, then you're watching this video later than our patrons. You can become a patron at colememo.com/Patreon. Enjoy the video. If you missed the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference in Chicago this year, no worries. I'll explain how you can catch up on what was discussed at the end of this video.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, we can open it up for questions.
Any questions?
Now. Anyone have any
Jim,
questions?
how should we deal with unlicensed operators? You mentioned prices falling in Oregon. The answer seems to be limited licenses. What should the enforcement mechanism be for unlicensed operators, so to say, for a polite term?
Well, I'm not a cop. I played a cop. It's their job, man.
So the cops are...
Yeah, they got to shut this shit down, man.
Gotcha.
They got to shut this shit down. I mean, I can't shut it down. For 2 years, I had the cartel next door to me in Oregon growing hemp, which was autoflower. I mean, they were walking around. They showed it. They let me see the gun. You know.
Do you think that conflicts with legalization at all? The idea of using the cops to force
illegal dispensaries and illegal grows? No, it's a protection of business.
Do you think there's another enforcement mechanism other than the criminal law? Is my point. That's really the question.
I don't know. Do you?
Well, with other businesses, yeah, there's like a business infraction, for example.
Well, those are just meetings. We need people to go in and shut those fucking things down.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
What, you all did the dabs this afternoon like me? What?
So if you've never been to Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, you need to go. Here's why you should. It's your chance to ask questions directly to key players in the cannabis industry like you just saw. In fact, I'm sharing my screen now and you can see who I had the chance to connect with earlier this week. It was an incredible experience. You can be part of it too. Learn more and register for upcoming conferences at bzcannabis.com. I'm displaying a picture right now of me with Jackie Bryant, who's a renowned cannabis journalist. I'm standing with Charles Bachtel in this picture, who you may know from Cresco Labs. He's been on our podcast in the past. You might recognize Hirsch from the podcast in the past, and Tony from our Hash Wednesday podcast. That's some Illinois cannabis activism history that you can learn about at colememo.com/history. Speaking of history, here I am with LMC. That's Luke, and he, check him out on YouTube. Just search up LMC. He documents cannabis history and it creates mini documentaries, much like the one that I'm releasing at colememo.com/minidoc. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and give credit for LMC as one of the people that inspired me to make such a project. Here I am standing with Bo Whitney, who I plan to have on the podcast in the future. You all know Dennis, mycopreneur, an incredible writer, podcaster, satirist, and inoculator of progress in drug policy. Here I am with Jay Rosenthal from Cultivated News, LaShawn Ford, who's been on the show in the past. And you know, I saw so many other people, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse at what you can get involved at. Once again, you can check out Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. It's likely coming to a city near you. Just search up Benzinga Cannabis and you can find more information. Or check out the show notes to go directly to their website. So if you'd like to see the full lineup of discussions that occurred at the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, almost all of them are available for streaming right now on YouTube. I'll have those links in the show notes. You can also support the show at colememo.com/support. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. So if you're able to support us, even if it's just with a positive review, that would be greatly appreciated and it would help this show. If you're able to contribute financially, go to colememo.com/support. We'll see you on the next episode of the Cole Memo. Take care.